What's up? Ranger567A here, and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes. And yeah, so we finally got started on a game I've been waiting to play for a long time. And we did our first case, which is a very good tutorial, like early start case.
Well,
Basically,
that was an utter waste of time.
yeah.
The assassination did seem rather unlikely. There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have
That
to
pigeon
mean
shut the fuck up.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Alright. Honestly, I gotta kind of remember what button I'm using, so...
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
Alright, fair enough. So... Man, this game's... Honestly, out of all the other games, or Sherlock Holmes game, this game actually kind of feels the best to play. You know, just like the movement and stuff like that. I mean, it's nothing compared to like Resident
Not much
Evil,
further now.
how like impressive Leon's movement was. But I mean, this is a smaller budget, so you know, I'm not expecting that quality of of awesomeness, whatever. Is this it, Watson?
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
Is it this one? Oh yeah, I see a cop. Hey, what's that, corper?
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. It's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not
Missing
a crime.
people isn't a real
That
crime?
said,
Hello?
If we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahir.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen. And as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
Okay. So you bought him. He's from New Zealand. He doesn't speak English. He's tall, dark hair, tattoos.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
I take it this is the first time Kimahir has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Is there any reason Kimahir may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Did Kimahir make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Fair enough. Alright. Go ahead and start the investigation. So ideally we want to start in his greenhouse, but of course you can never be too thorough. Yeah, there's nothing worth investigating over here, so. Alright. Oh my god, Watson actually, like, follows you this time. I remember, John in chapter 1, if you remember, when, you know, Sherlock had his imaginary friend, he would just teleport everywhere, and that's when I started realizing that he wasn't real. So this is very interesting. Why can't I? Oh, okay. Knee print hiding.
Looks like a knee print.
Okay. So I got a shoe here.
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Chewing tobacco. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
I mean, let's be honest, Watson. It's not that hard to tell. Alright. With enough clues, Sherlock can use imagination to reconstruct the past. Ooh, I remember this from chapter 1. Wait, what? Okay. Okay, so that's that. Gotta look around some more. It should be his mansion. Concentrate help you pick up smaller details around the world, about the world around you. When you see a wavy green circle, press R1 to observe the object more closely. Don't forget to pin the relevant evidence. Some clues won't be visible without it. Okay. Looks like there's a mask here.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
What a pretty big face. Alright, something else here.
A small navy spyglass. A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Okay. So it's most likely, you'd think that he probably would have fell in it, but if it took, yeah, that looks like it would be hard to break, so you had to have been like pushed into it or something, possibly. Alright, so I noticed there's like 3 different little baby bubbles around the big bubbles, around the top, so I'm kind of wondering what that could be. Okay.
No air coming through it. Mutton chops. The remains of a meal. heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
The ashes are long since cold. No air coming through it. No air coming through it.
Yes, I know. Can you... Oh. Okay. He's doing narcotics?
Is this a Tanifar, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
I'm just wondering, I just noticed there's like a little, I don't know, Cthulhu bubble on the top of my screen here. Looks interesting.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Ah, that's a little interesting right there. Yeah, and that connects directly towards that little smoker thingy over there, so interesting. Okay, so we investigated everything that we could in here. Oh, what's that? There's like a little pulse thingy here. Oh, whatever. Alright, so perhaps somebody plugged the chimney. And then it did something to knock him down. But why would that connect to this, him hiding behind that statue over there?
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
See, for some reason the screen was like, hey man, you should go ahead and put the pin up.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Oh, that's weird. Alright. Okay, so the speech bubble would obviously say, hey man, you should probably talk to the guy. I'm not quite sure what the little eyeball means. So that means just pin it. Trail, there are fresh parallel tracks in the garden. Oh, here we go. Already broken, not used recently. Yeah, it would have been a little too obvious, wouldn't it? Something else was used around here. Alright, let's go back around over here. See if there could be anything else. There's a broken old car in the garden, but it's unlikely to have been used recently. Hussein closed. Okay. There, Hussein's closed and coming here shack. Hussein closed and coming here shack. Okay. It does seem like he ran off somewhere, right? Because if he planned on leaving, I imagine he would have taken some clothes with him. At the entrance, there are quest crates and a piece of sackcloth. In the brazier, there's a charred ball and narcotic. There's an imprint shaped of a human head on a sack of grain. There's also a spyglass on the floor, which is rather interesting. It's a Navy spyglass too. So obviously, you know, coming being a foreigner, I don't imagine they let foreigners in the British Navy, especially back at that time. Common spat chewing tobacco in the corner of the garden. Yeah. Behind the statue, there are prints roughly size 11 with a worn-out sole. They became a workman's boot. What the fuck? Like, Watson, I know you're a doctor and all, but do you need one too? Alright.
The door to your
keyhole.
garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Gimme here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
It's gonna be one of those old people, huh? Behind the statue, there's someone hiding the war size 11 boots.
I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Let's see. Someone blocked the chimney.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Okay. It's also a spyglass.
Is this
in there.
spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
Okay. Interesting. But I don't think you would know about
Has
the chewing
Kimahir
tobacco,
ever
would he?
indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Fair enough. Oh wow, they even have like evidence that don't even represent this case. That's weird. Alright. When I was sold, belonged to someone from the working
Do
class.
you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at our evidence. Okay. So Stenwick confirms that coming here always wore clothes made of sacks. Captain Stenwick did not recognize the object and had never seen his servant with it. The spyglass seemed to belong to someone else. Someone said that he in coming here has the key. Behind the statue has been someone. Okay, so yeah. Someone blocked the chimney pipe. Among the other scattered objects at the shack. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and go to our brain palace. So come here. Where does come here trail leads? Again, it's so weird that they have clues from like a case that doesn't even have anything to do with this one. What does come here trail lead? I imagine it'd be a trail, because obviously that's what we're looking for. But it doesn't really tell us where it leads, does it? Maybe it would actually lead to the lock with the unusual key. Spyglass. Chewing tobacco. I don't know if we got everything just yet. Let's oh, wait, what was that? Oh, we got another clothes. Oh, we got new clothes. Hey, this is from chapter 1. That's awesome. Yeah, I like these outfits. They're cool. But we'll stick with what we have on now, since you know it's still rainy and shitty. Which that's usual Britain weather right there. I mean, I'm not calling them out, but you know, like when I was back there on my birthday, it was like the middle of July, right after that heat wave, and it was still cold to the point where you should bring a jacket. So, all right. So yeah, so we know somebody was sitting back here. Oh, look at that! I actually got more things to use now too. Okay. What is that in his hand? Is that the tobacco? Okay. Honestly, I think that would kind of make sense for the spyglass, because whoever would be back here, with whatever he's doing, he would want to use the spyglass to start peeking at whoever he's peeking at. Was come to think about it, I'm starting to wonder if whoever. So we know. So I think we can deduct that there was two people in this particular scene. By the time coming here was he bounced. You know. That is not a key that we could use. So obviously it seems like somebody was after coming here. Who? Well, I guess we're gonna have to do something to find out. So that would make the most sense, wouldn't it? Considering that the spyglass was found right over here. That's indicating that Kamiya was knocked out and dragged, but we don't see any drag marks, do we? Not yet. But perhaps this guy could have just been knocked backwards. And he lost his spyglass, maybe. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, so there's obviously somebody put that there. Then again, that wouldn't explain how the spyglass got there too, right? Unless Kamiya couldn't have had the spyglass because he doesn't, because his master never saw it. So interesting. Austin, can you get the fuck out of the way, please? I'm starting to miss John because at least he'd be out of the way. No, I'm just kidding. Watson, you're cool. Just get out of my way. All right. So we can definitely say. Okay, I see it. So you see this little ball, right? That ball is what we found in that that little grilled chimney thingy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So whoever was here put this in there, stuffed it with the cloth, and the ball fell down. But then something just doesn't make sense. If that was the case, okay, I got it. So if we found the narcotics in here, right? Maybe the narcotics was used to knock Kamiya out, and when the assailant came in here and dragged him out, he tripped and fell back on this thing, face planting the grain, and then perhaps they had a wheel or something that they used to bounce him out. I'm not quite sure. But that's what I think's happened so far. Yeah, just the only thing is that I don't really see much of anything else to use so far. So, but yeah, whoever was here was just camping out here like a little Call of Duty kid. And just chewing on that tobacco crap. So, wait, let's go back real quick though. Yeah. So yeah, so you could have snuck over there, put the little narcotic stuff in there, knocked Kamiya out, go around into the place, drag his body, and then trip on that box. Alright, let's go into the Mind Palace now. Let's look at our clue real quick. So, the spyglass. It doesn't really tell us where his trail would lead. I guess we can just say that for now. The cloth and the chimney. Okay, I don't really have a lot of documents and testimonies. I'm not sure if these two are gonna connect. Wait. It's not even, wait, what? It's not even letting me connect them. Interesting. Oh, what? Oh, there's 2 different blueberries that we used. Interesting. And there's only one. Oh, I'm getting it. Okay, so I thought with the 3 bubbles, that means, okay, so there's one of each, you know, green, blue, and yellow. But because there's 2 blue bubbles and 1 yellow bubble, that means that, okay. Okay, now I'm starting to kind of get it. Alright. And that was all wrong. Okay, so we deduct those 2 at least. So we're still investigating a bit. So luck with the unusual thing with the lead us there. Close meter, I don't think that's it. So yeah, we're missing something else. Cause yeah, obviously these 2 won't mix, but I guess we can at least crack them out. Wait, what? Let's read the strand. Saltire explosion rocks the docks. Port authority is yet to comment on the incident. Port authority is yet to comment on the incident and it's unknown if any crew member were on board. Interesting. So there was an explosion at a docks, and we found a Navy spyglass here. Okay. So that is something. Obviously we're gonna need to find more items and stuff like that before we do anything else, so. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think this green Cthulhu bubble here is like this is an investigation zone. So that might be what that means. So fair enough. As it is, I'm actually running everywhere.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Yeah, it is pretty fucked up. Everywhere we've looked so far, though, has been checked out. I'm not really seeing much of anything else.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly?
I think, though, wait, hold up. Let's look at this thing real quick. Is it gonna... Let me investigate it now. Alright, let's just walk around in this Cthulhu mode. Let's see if anything will appear. Yeah, so we see the tire tracks. Alright, well, I don't fucking see anything else, so.
Why are you still here?
I wanna go in your house, boo. Alright, there's probably nothing in there, but still. Alright, let's look at our pen evidence. Okay, so I think that eyeball probably means that we need to go into Cthulhu mode, and maybe something will appear. So that's my next theory. So we have that pinned. It's not gonna get us anywhere though. I mean, that's just gonna tell us, yeah, parallel wheel tracks and all that. Oh! Wait. Ah, son of a bitch. It is. So yeah, so when we see the pin and the eyeball, that means we need to look around in this thing. Okay. Grass and dust can grow here, often used. There are similar tracks near Kamiya's shack. Pile of logs fallen.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. So, yeah, right. Okay, so we're just kind of find out whether it could be Kamihiya's or the assailant. Obviously, I think that would make sense. Like, what do we have here? Are they deep tracks or something? Usually kept under the rain cover. There are similar tracks near Kamihiya's shack. Okay, so we can connect the tracks here to this thing. So obviously that would mean that the cart would be the same as that. So yeah, we can say that the assailant definitely used this to move Kamihiya's body. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch to the here. Lock with unusual key. Is it gonna show the stupid? Oh my god! I've already seen this thing. Whatever. Visual form bent to the left. Alright. I think it's kind of safe to say that if we can find where the last thing is, that it is possible. Oh, wait, it's probably going to be at the door here. That it's possible that the assailant who knocked out Kamihiya grabbed the key. Yeah, I bet the next one is going to be like, oh, that's Kamihiya. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kamihiya went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kamihiya inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kamihiya had the key in his shack.
In other words, he's been kidnapped.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
Alright, so we got that. So let's go back to the brain palace real quick. Hold up. So in order to transport the servant, he used the garden cart. The last piece of the puzzle was opening the garden door. Luckily, the intruder Kamihiya had the key in his shack. So yeah, so we basically just said that, yeah, he was abducted. Alright, go to the mine palace. So where does the trail lead? Alright, so if the Strand was telling us about the boat that, or the dock that had the explosion, then, Then what's testimony? What's his testimony? Disappeared, not like unusual. Captain Stanwyck describes him as a very tall, strong. Okay, he's the captain though. Tension between England and Sweden. He's from New Zealand though, isn't he? On the scandal, British diplomatic corps. Result unexplained disappearance of his personal bodyguard. Representative of the Scandinavian man, a man like that gets noticed. Whether his peers at the gentleman club seem to be fair not to go. This thing kind of is talking about kidnappings too. Interesting. Alright. What are the notable features of the abductor? Well, yeah, he has a spyglass. And he's a tobacco chewer. Last thing we know. Trail or footprints. Okay. Clothes made of his son. Or cloth made of his son. Ah, we don't have the last item yet, so we can't. So we don't know just yet. Alright. We're gonna have to go tell Captain Dickhead that his servant's been abducted. I'll actually be interested in seeing what his reaction is like. So, I mean, I'm not convinced to say that, oh, the captain has something to do with it. But, you know, I mean, he is a douchebag, in a way.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir, likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Interesting that there was actually a multiple choice like thing that I could respond to, like kind of like in Mass Effect. But the only thing is though is that both like choices were kind of like, you know, a defensive, you know, kind of thing, you know, and we need to stay professional. It's no time to get emotional or anything about it, you know. I'm only here not to bring the guy back, not to bring Kamiya back to his master, but in order to find Kamiya himself and make sure he's alright. So that's my only goal right now. I see more cart trails over there. Interesting.
A large pile of horse droppings.
Oh, we got some scratches here too, but cigarette butts.
Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night.
I would assume that's more. There's another trail here. Alright, let me see, make sure there's no more things that we need to pin. Okay. Let's check the other direction. I actually didn't even look in the other direction of the gate. Oh, we almost missed this.
What does it say?
Alright, so is there anything going this direction? No.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Okay, so we know that. That's connected to that. So that's connected here.
No seams or torn fabric on this doll. Likely one-legged by design.
Heyo, street pigeon and roof ravens, another treasure hunt is upon you. With a clue in hand, it is up to you to find all the dolls. Okay. That looks like it's leading us to a park with a statue that we'll need to turn left after we pass it to find a
The
card.
treasure hunt. Used to do lots of those in my childhood.
Oh, is that like a bonus like side thing?
A bad joke.
Or both. Better not risk leaving this matter ignored, don't you think?
Alright. That's like a side mission thing for sure.
Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man? A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
And that's pretty. That kind of connects to something else because I remember we were reading. I think it was The Strand that we were reading, and we were talking about saltpeter. Saltpeter. That's how you say it. Okay. I learned something new
Sturdy
today.
rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair.
Alright, something else here.
Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather.
Alright, cool. So let me finally get through this scene. So the cart track leads to Kamiya's cart. There is also a wallet. Alright, so what's the next? Ah, hold up. Let's go to the Mine Palace. Maybe we got something else to use. Yeah. We got a spyglass and a sailor's knot. We also got saltpeter too, but I mean, we were kidnapped by a sailor. A particular knot, a spyglass, and the footprints of a working man's boots. They all add up to one conclusion: Kamiya's abductor is a sailor. Alright. Where does his trail lead? So we know that this connects to the paper. Yeah, talking about saltpeter. There's also a wallet with saltpeter on that too. And then we got a trail lead. Got footprints. Thought there's a sailor. There we go. All evidence points to the port of London. Kamiya's trail leads to the port of London. We now know that Kamiya's kidnapper is most likely a sailor, that his wallet bears saltpeter residue, and that there was a recent saltpeter accident in the port of London. Everything suggests to find Kamiya, we must head to the port of London. There's no time to lose. It is vital that we find a cab. And okay, I need to look up what is saltpeter. I never heard of this thing before. It's a component of gunpowder. Oh. So potassium nitrate is a chemical. Wait, that's not it. Okay. What does it do to a human being? Nitrate has a long history of medical use, but it is toxic and high doses can produce symptoms ranging from mild headaches and upset stomach to kidneys. Dangerous. Okay. Okay. What is the use of saltpeter? It's a thickening agent in soup and stew, such as okra soup. Okay, so that's also. Alright, very interesting. So it's a chemical substance for medical use. Particular knot, small calling card. Okay, sweet. Well, it looks like we're on the right track now.
The Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Nice. Alright, well, looks like we got our, we know where we're going next, but I don't know how big this next place is going to be, so I say this is probably a good time to end this episode. Honestly, I didn't think that we were just going to spend the entire episode investigating here. I was mostly trying to look and find stuff like that, but that's the game, you know? Like, you got to find shit, investigate shit, and think of shit, you know? Like, that's a lot of shit, bro. But, yeah, anyways, but at least we figured it out, and looks like we have our next destination. But with that said, is that bird on nothing? No, it's actually on a thing. Okay, good job. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, next episode we're gonna be heading down to the Port of London, and we're gonna be talking to some seamen. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Later.